bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Don't let that team stand in the way. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on not a Thursday, but a Tuesday. I'm Brandon Beam tonight, hanging out with my guy Austin Ward, live over at Yogi's in Grandview. You can hang out with us from 6 to 8. $3 Coors Light draft specials, and we got our guy Rhyme Time back in the studio here this evening. Austin, what a happy Tuesday it is. We are now 2 days away from Buckeye Camp. What's happening, buddy?
How can you beat it? It's an awesome week because you've got football coming back at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center on Thursday. And if you're just 2 days away, pop in down here, get those Coors Lights. The mountains are blue. This is the first time I've ever been at this Yogi's location.
It's a very nice setup.
It's super nice. I did not know what I was walking into, but the garage doors are open. Beautiful day in Columbus, Ohio. You got a second floor over there. I didn't know that was going on. All the TVs are on.
They got puck up there, too. We got shuffleboard, or as myself and Jeff Sabota like to call it, land curling.
Shuffleboard? I'll see you later. I got to go...
Yeah. Well, you
set some records upstairs.
We do. I guess we should have a match because you were the world champion at the Ranger.
Well, I didn't play the world. I played everyone in Laramie.
In tandem with Jackets insider Jeff Sabota, we took over the Ohio State championship down in Dallas when Ohio State was crowned a national champion against Oregon. So everybody was bringing home titles.
Yeah, I'm the Wyoming State champion.
What's a bigger deal?
I've never claimed to be the world champion.
National championship media land curling champion or Wyoming State champion?
I mean, I've also seen both of you try ice curling.
Oh, no.
Which is real curling.
No, and I can't do that at all.
And it was a sight to be seen.
I was worse than Jeff.
I can't really weigh in on that.
Well, Jeff actually gets on skates sometimes and plays hockey. I am not a creature of the ice.
Yeah, I think that's what made it more baffling. But it is difficult to keep your balance on the ice and execute with the stones. But standing behind the shuffleboard table, that's a little bit easier.
Yeah, maybe we'll just take, Scott, can we just take the show upstairs and play shuffleboard during it? It's great. We got a great show lined up for you here this evening. Again, 2 days away from Buckeye Camp. We'll be out there live from 6 a.m. to noon on Thursday and Friday. And on Saturday, we're going to be out there live as well. So come stop by if you don't stop over at Yogi's tonight. We're going to be at Buckeye Camp later this week. We'll do your projected favorites. Ohio State is actually one of very few teams in college football that's going to be favorited in every single game that they play last year. And it was an interesting deep dive on how those teams have done throughout the year. So we'll get into that next. Austin will do one of two questions of the day coming up here at 6:30. We were going to do that last night, and then we got sidelined by obscure Ohio State plays of the past.
You know, I still spent all day today just thinking about, what if I had talked about these other plays, and this was crazy, and this was cool, and like maybe.
What was the first one that you came up with, or the best one?
The best one that I came up with. I mean, are you trying to go through the whole show again now? I can't get this started again. Once I start, I can't stop.
If you want a riveting 45 minutes of radio, you can go back and watch the YouTube stream, or you can download the podcast wherever you get your podcast from. The last 45 minutes of our show was inspired by great plays in Ohio State history, which we turned into plays that probably not many people will remember, but they should.
Yeah, and so I spent all day doing that, and it wasn't very productive for me to just be like, remember when that play happened against... There was a catch that Benjamin Victor made against Rutgers that I was like, why would anyone in their right mind be thinking about this catch?
Because we have a disease, that's why.
It was like crazy. He was like horizontally laying out of the back of the end zone, and he's Gumby and 6'4", and he gets just one toe down in the back of the end zone. Like,
your arm is actually in the student section right now, and your leg is in the end zone.
And they're beating Rutgers by 50, and I'm still just like, that was the most amazing thing I've seen since last week when an Ohio State player did something that I've never seen before.
What about KJ Hill? I believe it was KJ Hill when the ball literally just stuck to his glove, and then he did the touchdown celebration like he tried to peel it off with his foot.
Well, Jackson Smith and Jigba had one of those too against Nebraska during the COVID years. So now we're like, that wasn't a one of a kind because we saw Jackson do it too, and then we saw Jeremiah do it last year at Michigan State. There was, okay, the first one that I thought of today, to be honest with you, full disclosure.
Okay. Was Zeke Elliott's punt kick return block that Stan Drayton cried over.
Caleb Downs made a tackle at Penn State last year. That it wasn't even a tackle for loss, I don't believe. he just like stopped a screen, or I don't remember how the play even developed. It was Penn State thought they had something blocked up to the perimeter, and Caleb Downs just looped inside of a blocker, which no person should try unless they're Caleb Downs. And then he just sticks out his left hand and hits the ankle. I don't know if it was Singleton or Katron Allen. I don't remember who it was.
Now that you've said the ankle tap, I do remember that.
And it was just like, boop, sorry, you're down. You thought you were going to score a touchdown, and no, you're not.
Not today, sir.
And I don't think it went for a loss. It was just like, I looked around in the press box like, is nobody else amazed by what just happened here? And like,
no, they're not.
Yeah, with Penn State gain of 1. Cool. All right, well, I'm going to write that play down because I think it was pretty important.
And you're going to do an oral history on how that was the most important Penn State gain of 1 yard of all time.
It was.
Also in that game, I believe it was Denzel Burke chasing Tyler Warren down, knocking him out at the 1 yard line, which then later on in that sequence got the IGB interception.
Well, the IGB interception, everyone in the press box was like, well, what are they looking for on this replay for the touchdown? And I said, this is on the record. Everyone that was around me knows. I said, they're looking to see if IGB intercepted that ball.
Which he did.
And he did. And they were like, what? Penn State just put this game away. They're looking at a touchdown. I said, no, they're not. I don't think you guys saw that. That was IGB doing something like bonkers.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we derailed ourselves. We were supposed to get to 2 Austin's questions of the day. We only got to 1 last night. We'll do that at 6:30. One of them concerns breakout candidates this season for Ohio State. The other one in the 7 o'clock hour is concerning of one player in particular who may be on that list for a breakout candidate as well. We'll go on the trail with Birm coming up here at 6:46, talk all things Cruton, and then have some fun in the 7 o'clock hour when we do the college football pulse. I did see this today, Austin. Are you a big fan of watch list season?
No.
You don't like the watch list?
Because the way that we do college football awards is the single dumbest thing that is done in this country.
How do we do them? Why don't you explain to the folks how the things are done? How we vote on trophies?
College football has not evolved past the year 1955 when it comes to individual awards. And you'd say, well, what's wrong with it? How are they getting it wrong? Well, what you start with are these watch lists. And people are just like, oh, well, that person from this program started a year ago. We're going to name them as one of these 50 preseason candidates that are on a watch list. You'd think, well, it shouldn't mean anything, except that then those voters who have been appointed by those committees or they're members of the Football Writers Association of America that get to vote on them, like, well, they're not paying attention because they're covering one game every single week.
I'll tell you who is paying attention, who is a part of the FWAA, and it's Bill Bender. Bill watches every single college football game of all time.
If every awards voter was Bill Bender, we would be getting these awards right. But I got news for you. They're not, because a lot of them are like me. And I want to watch as much college football as I possibly can, and I want to be a informed, educated voter. But that's not possible when I have to go to the press box at the Horseshoe or be on the road, and the previous 4 hours before kickoff for me are being in the stadium and then going down there and getting to watch pregame. That is a benefit and a blessing, but I'm not able to watch. Let's say it's a noon game. Well, I don't see any other noon games. Most Ohio State games are at noon. So
you probably catch the
example.
second half of the 3:30 games.
Can't. I'm staying there until 3 or 4 hours afterwards. I like noon for me personally because I do get to be home in time to see the primetime games. But even then, I've missed most of 2/3 of college football. I might be able to flip around, but I'm trying to find one game, or I'm then spending time with Allie and Liberty after they've watched college football all day, and they're like, let's turn this off and
we don't want to watch college football anymore.
Go do something else. So what is my point? That these voters then have to work off of the preseason watch lists and name recognition, and then if you're able to put up some stats by mid-October, which means probably against non-conference teams in half of your year, then they say, well, you need to submit your vote for the semifinalists. In the middle of the season? What? Why are we doing this?
We have 6 more weeks to go.
And then if you're going to win it, you still have to be working from that. Then you've got to become a finalist, and you're voting in the early weeks of November, the first or second week of November, so they can tell you who the 3 finalists are so that you can vote on them when? Before the last regular season game or in the 2 days after the last regular season game. No conference championship game, no playoffs. I'm not just talking about the Heisman, I'm talking about every single award.
Yeah, the one that all the shows are built around.
Because you used to have to mail in ballots. And even now that they've gone to online voting, they're still making you do it the same way that they've done it for the last 60 years. it doesn't make any sense, and it leads to results like Jeremiah Smith not winning the Bolitnikoff or not winning the Freshman of the Year award last year. And you think back, would that have been the case, Beam, if you got to watch all the playoffs and then you saw third in Jeremiah and your last thing you got to witness before the voting went in was this one-of-one freshman sealing the national championship game?
Alien from the Tadpole Galaxy.
Give him all the awards. So do I like watch list season? I hate it.
Okay, well, that's good. I will tell you who's on watch list season, though. Caleb, Sonny, and then Tegra and Edric Houston are actually on offensive and defensive line watch list as well.
Well, and they should be.
Every Ohio State starter should be on watch list.
Because they have legitimate chances to win those awards. So, like, why is Carson Hensman not on it? Why is Austin Saraveld not on it? Why is Ethan Onyanwa, who is already an established college football producer, prolific tackle, who was going to be in the NFL draft and decided, no, I can develop one more year at Ohio State? Why is he not on?
What about Arvell Reese?
So that's the issue. Birm has made a bold prediction. We'll talk. You can ask him about it at 6:45.
I will.
Later on the Buckeye Show. He said Arvell Reese is going to win the Buckeyes Award. I said, no, he's not. Because Sonny Styles is the one with name recognition. It's the same thing that hurt last year. Why Cody Simon should have won the Butkus Award last year. He didn't even make the semifinalist cut. And I wanted to do something bad to the voters.
I wanted to harm everybody.
I was outraged. Let me put it that way.
What you said you wanted to do to Bob Carpenter last night is exactly...
I'm going to cut off thumbs.
Is exactly what you did. I
asked James Laurinaitis about it. I said, how does this make any sense? He said, don't get me started. I'm not going to do this.
And he did it in a very dulcet tone, as he always does. Yeah. Ohio State is one of the very few teams in the country that's predicted to be favored in every game this season. We'll get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit oda.org.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers, we're improving lives, we're reimagining healthcare.
Buckeye football training camp is coming. Catch live editions of Morning Juice, T-Bone, and Tybus and Bishop and Friends starting July 31st. They'll be close enough to smell the jock straps. Live on The Fan and YouTube. Yay football.
For over 30 years, Schumacher Homes has been building affordable custom homes throughout the Buckeye State. Experience true customization on your land, your way, without any compromises. Come visit any of our 9 Ohio model home and design studio locations to see the latest in design trends and learn about our award-winning building process, or start online at SchumacherHomes.com. You'll be surprised how affordable a custom home will be. Schumacher Homes, proud home building sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny, warm, and humid on this Tuesday. Temperatures holding around 90 degrees. The heat index in the mid to upper 90s. Overnight will keep the heat and humidity. Temperatures down to the low 70s by morning, but will be dry. Mostly sunny skies during the day. Wednesday, again, it will be hot, right around 90 degrees with the heat index in the upper 90s and the chance of a shower or thunderstorm by Wednesday evening. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
If you still have a weird rash from jumping in Mirror Lake, we can be friends. This is the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out at Yogi's in Grandview. You can come hang out with Austin Ward and myself till 8 o'clock this evening. $3 Coors Light specials. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic little Tuesday. Buckeye Camp starts here in a couple of days. Austin, I was reading this piece by your colleague, Brett McMurphy, over at On3. 5 college football teams projected as favorites in every 2025 regular season game. And it's interesting that we're talking about this because the two teams who are widely viewed as the best 2 teams in college football this year, and you can dispel me if I'm wrong and correct me, but I believe the hype train has left the station for both Texas and Penn State. Now, we'll see when those preseason rankings come out, the top 25, where those 2 teams are at. I don't know.
You know exactly where they're going to be.
It's going to be Texas at number 1, and it's going to be Penn State at number 2, I think. I'm pretty sure, because if you read everybody's preseason list, that's where they are. And then when they get the vote, those are going to be the 2 teams.
Here's what I think is going to happen, though. I think the coaches will vote Texas number 1, and the media will vote Penn State number 1.
Okay.
Because I don't think any coach in America is like, you know what I'm going to do? They reveal these ballots at some point, and who's voting? I don't believe in James Franklin. I'm not doing that.
No.
Not going to catch me back in James Franklin.
No chance, pal.
Give me Sark, and I'll look fine, because I know they're talented. But that's what I think is going to happen.
So I think
it's going to be split in the polls. Yeah.
Okay. So Penn State either number 1 or Texas number 1. Now, neither of those teams are going to be favored in every game. Why is that?
Well, that's because they both play the Buckeyes.
And they both play them at Ohio Stadium. So the 5 teams in college football who are predicted, again, this can all change on a week-to-week basis, but the lines that are currently out there, they're favored in every single game. You have the Buckeyes. You have the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, which it's a pretty monster schedule, right off the bat for them. They open at Miami, right? Then they play Texas A&M at home, if I'm not mistaken. You have the Bulldogs, the Red, the White, Spurrier. Georgia comes in at the 3rd team. Clemson and then Arizona State being your 5th team to be predicted and projected favorites in every single game this year. Ohio State is a double-digit favorite in at least 9 games. The only games that they're less than a 10-point favorite as currently is against Texas to open up the season. It's currently at -3. Penn State is 3.5, and then Michigan is also 3.5 last game of the season. Notre Dame, a favorite in nearly each game. Notre Dame is a 10-point favorite in only their first 2 games, at Miami at -2, and then Texas A&M at 7.5. Everything else the rest of the season is double digits. Georgia, favored in 7 games by 10+. They got the game coming up against Bama and Texas, where they're only favored by 3.5 and 2.5. Clemson is favored in a ton of games by big. Their games under 10 is 4 against LSU, 6 against Louisville, and 4.5 against Georgia Tech. Arizona State is walking the tightrope because all of theirs are like -1.5, -1. But I do think it's interesting to take a look back because last year, if you're wondering, well, how did it work out for the teams last year that were going to be preseason favorites and favored in all the game? Georgia, Kansas State, Liberty, Miami, and Oregon were all favored in every single regular season game. Florida State, Oklahoma State, and Utah were also projected before the season to be favored in 11 games, and we had a 2-10 record, a 3-9 record, and a 5-7 record.
How'd those Cowboys do?
We just don't know what the college football is going to bring. That's why we love it, because it's madness.
Yeah, but it is significant because to go back to Texas and Penn State being widely viewed as number 1 or number 2 or vice versa, number 1 and number 2, the bettors have made their voice, or I should say the odds makers have made their voices known. Ohio State is the odds-on favorite. Sometimes it fluctuates, and they're tied with Texas to win the national championship, but they're favored to win the game in the opener. When there's actual money involved and not narratives and storylines and, creating an AP poll so that you can write a story about it and get James Franklin to comment, when there's American currency being wagered, the books are like, you know what, we're going to ride with the Buckeyes right here.
Yeah.
And I think that's a smart move. Now, that's not to say that Texas is not good. It's not to say that Penn State doesn't have all the pieces and veteran experience to really make a run, but their regular season is compromised by the fact that they have to come to the Horseshoe. And no one's going to pay any attention to that in the Woody. Certainly not on Thursday morning when they go out there. Hey, we're favored in every game. We can relax and take it easy. That's not going to be the mindset. But it is significant because more often than not, they build the casinos and they create these apps, the gambling apps, and continue to fund them for a reason.
Ask Adam King about how they built those casinos out in Vegas, especially the Luxor.
He's the latest test case. They know what they're doing.
Ask Scott how they build these casinos out in Vegas. You got your nickname for that very reason. The house doesn't always know, but most of the time they do know something.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, the funny thing is, usually I like to invest in somebody to win the national championship this year. I haven't done it. Like, it's too hard and too wide open.
Yeah.
I feel like there's 6 or 7 that can do it.
Yeah, and last year I feel like there was a bevy of teams that we thought could win the national championship as well. And the college football season overall last year, talk all you want about playoff expansion and how you thought the seeding was dumb. It was a pretty open year in college football, and it was great. Like the NIL era, for as much as we talk about, we hate talking about it and trying to follow the rules. I'm being updated on it every day. It has created almost a leveler playing field among the teams that are not like a Texas and Ohio State, a Georgia. But you go down the list, I feel like conferences are better as a whole in the middle of the pack, where maybe years past you would see like a lot of bad teams and then a few really good teams, and the rest would be in the middle. But last year was a really fantastic college football product as a whole.
It's also more difficult, to Scotty's point, to bet on a preseason national champion because the path to getting to the ultimate game is harder than it has ever been.
Yeah.
It's more like, even when you're betting on Super Bowl favorites, which have a comparable, similar playoff system, also doesn't make any sense, but it has 14 teams in there vying for the Super Bowl.
But they are professionals, and they've been there, and they've done that.
But you know that it's these 4 or 5 teams, and maybe there would be a surprise, but probably not. And you don't see a ton of, outside of like a Baltimore Ravens run 22, 23 years ago, whenever that was, you're not getting a ton of
the Eagles with Nick Foles, right?
That's right, unexpected surprises in that. When you look at the seeding, Ohio State was a preseason national title favorite contender all along, but then they had to. The reason that this run is so historic and epic is they had to take the hardest path possible, and not everyone could survive that. You have to win 3 or 4 games against legit opponents all in a row to win that championship. That becomes much harder to get to that point and much harder to wager on. So I'm not encouraging anyone to do it or not do that, but that's why you look at these regular season games and they become a little bit more significant. And if you see value on that, jump on board.
If you were wondering about the 23 season, 5 schools were projected to be favored in every single game, and mostly all of them actually did run the table in the regular season. Bama, Georgia, Louisville, Michigan, and Washington. Bama had 1 loss. Georgia had nothing. Louisville had 2. Michigan had none. And then Washington had none as well. So 3 out of the 5. I guess this would be an odd year that it comes back to all the preseason favorites winning mostly every single game.
I'm kind of surprised that Washington was in the mix, because even though you had Michael Penix on that team and they got to the national championship game, I don't really remember there being this fervor around the Huskies going into the year. That's like, this is a team.
I remember them being. I remember asking everyone who we would have on, like college football people, like, hey, who's a dark horse team for you this year, or maybe even like a dark horse plus. Like, I'm not asking you to name Indiana. I feel like every answer we got that year was like, watch out for what Washington is doing.
Yeah, but that's fine. I guess I'm surprised that they were favored in every game. Dark horse contender.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And win the conference. Like, it wasn't like, look out, this Washington team is going to steamroll everyone on the schedule.
Right.
Like, I don't remember that being the case.
I don't think it was the case. But I do remember Dan Lanning lost 2 times to them that year.
Because I think it would have been a case where if I'd have known that and we were having the exact same conversation that we're having right now 2 years ago, I'd be like, can I bet on all of Washington's opponents to cover right now? Like, that's not going to happen. They're not going to win all 12. And I guess that's not covering. They won every game outright, but.
And Kalen DeBoer would have made you eat your words.
He's like, here you go, buddy.
How do these taste?
I heard this on the Buckeye Show.
Why were you talking about us in the first place?
I don't know. It's the wrong show.
As camp gets going here in 2 days, we're going to answer Austin's question of the day. Who are some breakout candidates this season for the Buckeyes? That's in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Now open. Zumbizi Bay's brand new conservation tower. 3 slides, 1 tower, and endless thrills. Only at
Zumbizi Bay.
Plan your visit at zumbizibay.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ryan Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out at Yogi's in Grandview, myself and Austin Ward. Come on by. $3 Coors Light draft specials until 8 o'clock. The mountains are definitely blue, and I'm becoming more parched by the moment. By the way, this Thursday through Saturday, we're going to be live right here in the Fan through Buckeyes fall camp. We're hitting the practice fields. We got exclusive wall-to-wall coverage as the Buckeyes kick off the season. Morning Juice and T-Bone and Tyvis are going to be out there. So
double barrel action.
Double barrel. I don't know what the setup is going to be for that. I'm sure Scott is having a panic attack just thinking about running 2 shows at the same time on live location. What could possibly go wrong? But we're going to be out there. And then Bishop and Friends are going to be out there as well. Listen on the Fan. You can watch the shows streaming on our YouTube page or on 10TV plus. I know you're excited for camp.
I love it. The Austin and Birm show is going to be at camp, too.
Yeah, the Brandon and Willie show are going to be at camp as well. We're going to be out there. It should be fantastic. He likes playing in the rain. They got bounce houses. We got footballs running around. Brutus there? Was Brutus there last year?
Brutus doesn't miss camp.
Okay, good. Yeah, he shouldn't. Brutus shouldn't be sitting out. So we'll be out there as well, hanging out. Nice family day we're going to have out there. But as we get closer and closer and closer, Austin, it brings us to your question of the day, which is a great topic when we're
my favorite,
nearly on the eve of camp. And this comes up with everyone from who I talk to in person to getting tweets to getting YouTube comments to everything. Who are some breakout candidates that we want to see, that we think we're going to see make an impact on the field? Maybe not necessarily a Jeremiah Smith would qualify for this, because that last year was his breakout year.
Yeah.
But these are more of a deep dive, deep tracks only kind of players.
Yeah, I think it's important to clarify it that way, because there's a number of guys, obviously, when Ohio State has to replace as many starters as it does on both sides of the football, that you say, well, you may know Edric Houston and Caden McDonald's name, but nationally, this would still be a breakout opportunity for them. Certainly in Columbus, anyone who can hear your voice or mine right now, Beamer, don't talk about guys who were started, because Kenyatta Jackson.
We've talked about them for the last 4 months.
They all fit in the same boat. But guys that, if you're digging a little deeper, I think diehard Ohio State fans would be like, well, Aaron Scott was a 5-star corner. We saw him in the spring game make a nice pass breakup. Austin's been talking about him potentially being the third corner and what that could mean to allow Jermaine Matthews to move in the slot. But, he barely played last year. Talking about a true breakout, that's a guy that you have to look for and really could look for. There's a tendency, I think, to just skip on to the next big thing, and Devin Sanchez is here for Ohio State, and he's a 5-star.
We do have a tendency to do that.
And Aaron Scott is in that sandwich between proven veterans and looking for the next big thing. And, that's the same category for Mylan Graham. Aaron Scott is in that as well.
We
Peyton
did that
Pierce.
with Malik Hartford when his name was being called a couple of years ago at Buckeye Camp. We're like, breakout season incoming, and then he had to go through some trials and tribulations. Yeah. Now we're expecting him to play a major role this year, I wouldn't consider him to be a breakout candidate now.
But he should be, because that first year was full of the ups and downs and the freshman wall. It was really his training camp that every day you were hearing his name being called out, and he's so dominant, and he earned an opportunity to start right away. He wasn't ready for that. And then it's like, it didn't work right away. There's no way he's going to become this star that he was hyped up to be, and all this buzz was bogus. No, last year he dealt with injuries, and Ohio State had Caleb Downs, Lathan Ransom, and Jordan Hancock. So it was those two factors kept him off the field. But now
they were pretty good.
He's had an entire offseason. Malik Hartford looks fantastic. Safeties coach Matt Guerreri, his son's favorite player is Malik Hartford, so that should tell you about the chemistry going on in that room. And
I can't wait until we hear from Matt Guerreri. And I want you to put this on your bingo card for whenever the date is Matt Guerreri gets to talk, of him talking about Malik Hartford, and this is the term that he's going to use, run in the alley. Malik Hartford, run in the alley, put it on the Buckeye Coach bingo board, because I guarantee you're going to get it from him.
Yeah, and if he can, and I think he will, then that opens up other options for Caleb Downs. So, I think it's just the criteria is what you have to determine, because there are so many guys that are on the cusp of being national breakout, stars. When we talked about watch lists and how stupid I think those are, Beamer, Arvell Reese has a chance to win every award, or would have a chance in any other sport with any other voting format. He's going to have a phenomenal year. Just mark it down. I think he's 8 feet tall now, and he looks like a pterodactyl.
Last week when we checked in, he was 7'9". So he's grown even more.
I think he's 8 feet tall now.
By the time that camp gets here on Thursday, will we have reached 8'1"?
There's got to be a limit before he can still play.
You would think.
But he looks amazing physically, and I think there is so much confidence in the Ohio State coaching staff and Matt Patricia and James Laurinaitis with what they have with Arvell Reese, and pairing that with Sonny Styles. But again, it's like, okay, well, how about a smaller scale breakout? I think Peyton Pierce is what allows Ohio State then to not just play solely with two linebackers the way we've seen so much over the last few years. if you're playing back-to-back against Illinois and Wisconsin.
You're going to need to use your linebackers.
You're going to need to be bigger. You're going to need to play tougher. You're going to need to be stouter against the run, and that may involve adding another linebacker into the conversation rather than playing solely out of nickel. I don't think Wisconsin or Illinois are going to play with the kind of systems that demand that you have that sort of Jordan Hancock to play both the run and the pass at the same time. I think you're going to play that game more in the proverbial phone booth, and then that's where Peyton Pierce comes along. And then I think, Ohio State fans that were in the Horseshoe or watched on TV for the spring game, like, oh, this Peyton Pierce guy, he's
got some giddy.
He wants to put somebody on the ground every time he gets there. Yeah, that's why there were ACC teams offering multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars to try and lure him into the transfer portal.
Here's a newsflash, too. Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles also want to put people into the ground.
Yeah, there's going to be a theme there, and I think that their position coach also still wants to put those people on the ground. So that's infectious, and I think if you're looking for a breakout position group, and I'm just going to keep spinning it in all these different directions, I think it's the linebackers. And I did get asked that question. We talked about it a couple weeks ago on the Buckeye Show. It's like, is this the year that the linebackers return? No, last year was the year that they returned to that silver bullet legacy, and now you can maybe even take it one step further. Even though you lose Cody Simon, I think the athleticism that you have with Sonny Styles, the veteran experience there, he gets a year better. Arvell Reese got a taste of it, had 43 tackles, I think, a year ago off the bench. Now he gets to take it one step further. Peyton Pierce has a year in the program. And then James Laurinaitis has enhanced the recruiting profile with guys like Riley Pettijohn and TJ Alford.
Yeah.
Like on almost any other roster in the country, we'd be going into Thursday being like, how much are Riley Pettijohn and TJ Alford going to play? And we could
you've got to get them going.
Yeah, and we could still have that conversation, but it's not a necessity for Ohio State on Thursday. That's the luxury they're in now.
We've done that so many times throughout the years, haven't we? Like with position battles and groups and the lack of things to talk about. When is player X going to play? How much are they going to play? What are they going to be playing?
Yeah.
How have they come along in camp? Like we've done that with so many players over the years, as really has every college football team, that you're excited to see guys who you haven't seen before.
Yeah, and that applies to C.J. Hicks. We're going to talk about him later on in the Buckeye Show, so I don't need to rehash that. But in Columbus, he's past the point of being a breakout. Oh, that already should have happened. But nationally, it's not like Stuart Mandel or Bruce Feldman have spent the last 3 years being like, C.J. Hicks is going to be a superstar. They don't know. We know in Columbus because we spend every day talking about this roster, and I spend hours thinking about the best blocks that I've seen in the last 13 years.
We could do a full hour on that. Don't get me started on best blocks.
I kind of want to get you started, but that's the level of attention that we pay to it, which makes the breakout conversation difficult to answer, because first thing you have to figure out is what is this person asking and what qualifies as a breakout to them.
Where are you at with Devin Sanchez, potential breakout candidate? Or is that just the next new thing?
Yeah, I think that Devin Sanchez he's so mature. I don't just mean he showed up and he looked like Jeremiah Smith playing cornerback. I mean mentally, and that he had the self-awareness to go through spring, and maybe on day one or day two, an acclimation period, this is going to be easy, and I'm going to be a starter. I think by the middle of camp, he and Tim Walton were having conversations that were more like, ooh, there are things that I need to learn. I got lost a little bit in this coverage or that coverage in this play, and I've got to get a lot better. And I think he will. I think he'll learn from that and get better in a hurry. But the Devin Sanchez conversation is not, can he supplant Davis Igbinosun or Jermaine Matthews? It's, what's it going to look like in a competition with Aaron Scott to be the third corner? And I think Aaron Scott left camp in a really good spot to earn that. Now, Ohio State needs to play these guys like Devin Sanchez.
Yeah.
You need to get them experience in the NIL piece and all these other things that complicate the matter. But you also don't want to play Davis and Jermaine Matthews, and even if it's Aaron Scott, you can't ask them to play 600 snaps of, man-to-man coverage throughout the course of a year. That's too much, and you want to be at your best at the end of the year. So we'll see him. Is it going to be to the level of Jeremiah Smith? I would say I'm hesitant to go that far.
What about any of the wide receivers that you're looking at?
Because
I didn't know if you were going with a Mylan Graham or a Quincy Porter or.
If Mylan Graham didn't exist, I would say Quincy Porter.
Okay, all right. That's a fair answer.
But the answer is Mylan. And he's number 5. I feel like the summer dissipated my bandwagon behind me on the Milan Graham train, and it's about to ramp back up on Thursday.
It's about to be back on Thursday.
I think people are going to go out. Everybody that buys a ticket on Thursday, they're going to see number 5, and I swear to you, they're going to say, what is Garrett Wilson doing here?
Well, didn't he just sign a mega contract with the Jets?
Yeah,
Isn't he in training camp?
Why is he back wearing a scarlet jersey at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center? I'm telling you, that's going to happen because that's what he looks like, and the number's the same. He plays
breakout candidate. He's the perfect example of a breakout guy.
But again, it's hard to figure that out though because how many reps is he going to take away from a team that has Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, and also Bryson Rogers, who you could say he's a breakout candidate that hasn't had that moment yet. So if you're asking me who am I most excited to see that we may not even see a ton in actual games just because of the nature of Ohio State's receiving room, it's Milan Graham. So I want it to be a breakout for him. But Brandon Ennisbeam actually qualifies if that's a national breakout.
He does technically.
So,
but he already broke out last year.
And he's a dude of the week.
Yeah, he was a dude of the week. Big congrats to him. Lincoln Kaneholzer, Julian Saint. Those are going to be my 2 breakout players to watch for.
Bold choice.
Yeah, thanks.
I thought those were off the table.
No, I just thought of those 2 guys on the fly. We're doing deep tracks only. Those are the 2 guys I'm looking for.
You said deep cuts, and you said, the starting quarterback at Ohio State's going to be a breakout.
It's going to be a competition, so someone's got to break out.
Do you think the starting quarterback will be a Heisman finalist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Well, that's a breakout.
What day is it? It's Tuesday. July, 26th?
It's the 29th.
29th?
Yeah.
Even better. Tuesday, July 29th. I will say yes to that question.
That's a bold P.
Birm, he's going to join us as we talk some Cruton with him as we go on the trail with him next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Oh, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Hugs from patients like Patrick. It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now, it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight Bob's Discount Furniture and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. And no matter what tasty choice you make, our low prices add up to big savings. Plus, you get over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump and points. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like chew this gum and it grows new teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Did you know dropping your first 25 pounds with Awaken 180 adds 6 to 8 yards to every shot? Even better scores every 5 pounds after that. Look it up. Freedom from excess fat is measurable. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The best kind of power is star power. Let's go on the trail.
Hanging out at Yogi's over in Grandview. Jackets Insider Jeff Sabota's here, drinking a $3 Coors Light special. On special till 8 o'clock. Come by, hang out with us. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Check with our guy. He is Jeremy Birmingham. Hey, Birm. What's happening? How's your recovery from Vegas?
It's fine. Everything's fine. I never complain about anything.
I know you don't.
That's not true on a Tuesday night.
You have a positive outlook on just about everything.
He's got another Tuesday issue going on, Beam.
What? What happened here? A couple of weeks ago?
Nothing happened. I'm just old, man, and parts of my body just stopped working randomly. And the last 5 days, it's been my right hand. I just can't use my right hand.
Is it like a dead hand? Explain this to me. Does it hurt?
No,
Does it not hurt?
It's
Is it
arthritis,
numb?
man. It's an arthritic pain that I just can't, close my hand. So I can't really do anything.
That doesn't sound fun at all, Birm. That sounds awful.
Well, hey, guess what? You nailed it. It is awful.
I'm dreading getting older. I'm not looking forward to that.
Bad news, buddy. You're getting older right now.
I know that I am. I see it in my bald spots and my gray hair. It's already starting to happen. I'll let you know, Birm, you going through this. I'll text you when my arthritis kicks in on my right hand, and we can kind of go through some stories in the trenches. We were talking a little bit earlier on the show, Birm. What is your opinion on the Butkus Award winner for the 2025 college football season?
My opinion is that Arvell Reese is going to be a finalist for it. I don't know about if he's going to win it, but I think he's going to be a guy that shocks people this year with how good and violent he is. And those are characteristics that you want in a linebacker, right?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Good and violent.
It's whatever your personal preference is.
Who's the most good and violent linebacker in the Ohio State locker room right now, Birm?
Well, I'm not trying to compare guys here, okay? But I just think Arvell is going to be in a position this year to really be put on there, on display by Matt Patricia. And I think what we saw to him a year ago, the growth that he had from being a defensive end to learning how to play linebacker to where he is now, I just think the talent for him is off the charts. I've been on the record. I've said it. I think he will be the second Ohio State player drafted in next year's NFL draft, and I stand by it.
I told you. He's driving the bus.
You did forewarn me of that.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Who, Birm, are you most looking forward to seeing on Thursday morning at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center?
We got a little glimpse of him a week ago when the football account tweeted about the dudes of the week. But to me, it's Easton Anianwa. I think he's just a guy that really is going to play a major role in the overall success of this offense. I mean, the offensive line a year ago was a position that everybody had a ton of questions. And this year, it seems like there's a lot of comfort and a lot of security in what they have. But for me, Anianwa still hasn't played a game at Ohio State, and the jump from Rice to Ohio State is fairly substantial. I think that he is going to be as important to Ohio State this year as Donovan Jackson or Josh Simmons was last year as far as the success of the offense. So I want to see if he looks – we know he looks the part. Is he a guy that is starting to just look and feel more like a Big Ten offensive lineman instead of just a big kid with a lot of potential?
We've got Birm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What are you just most looking forward to being out at the Woody? Take the people out of it, just being out there for 3 days. What are you most interested in as a whole, Birm?
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of Matt Patricia over the last 6 months. We've seen a little bit of him coaching in the 5 practices that we got a chance to watch a part of or the whole thing of in the spring. And we still don't know anything about his defense. So I want to see what that really looks like. We're not going to see a lot of install in these next couple of days, but I do think that there's an opportunity to get a sense of what Matt Patricia's defense is going to look like. Who's ready to be really activated in that defense, to use a Jim Knowles parlance. And I think that how Matt Patricia and this defense find new ways to use Caleb Downs is something I'm really looking forward to seeing as well.
Birm, both tonight on the Buckeye Show and last night on the Buckeye Show, Beamer and I have gone deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we did.
Of plays.
Camp needs to get here ASAP.
Plays, we were playing off an 11 Warriors post about the top 25 plays of the last 25 years, and then it became plays that people have overlooked or forgotten that we can't stop thinking about. What do you think is one of the more underrated plays that you have seen with your own 2 eyes covering the Buckeyes?
I mean, I don't want to there's a lot.
There is. Yeah, there's a ton. We did 45 minutes on it last night, Birm. There's a lot to unpack there.
I mean, going back even to last year's Texas game, there was a shoestring tackle made by Caleb Downs when Texas wide receiver Ryan Wingo had an end around or a little jet sweep that looked like it was going to take it to the distance if Caleb didn't trip him up. And I think at that point in the game, it was the first quarter, second quarter. Ohio State was sort of hanging on, I think, after Travion's, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And there was a moment there where it felt like Texas was about to pop one, and Caleb Downs saved the day, as he did multiple times in that game and throughout the playoff run. But that's one, to me, that's sticking out as far as a recent. That one definitely mattered.
I did Chris Olave's, and none of his touchdowns. I did Chris Olave catching the direct onside kick against Maryland, and God knows what year it was, but that was like the one play that stood out to me, Birm, that I had never seen before and will likely never see again.
Yeah, but it was like, I think the Buckeyes won that game by like 65 points.
Yeah, it was 42 or 30 something to nothing when they did it, or maybe 14 to nothing. Like, it was on its way to being a bloodbath.
And then there's other plays. I mean, if you go back to the Notre Dame game 2 years ago, the drop. It doesn't always have to be a good play for Ohio State. A bad play for Notre Dame, the dropped interception, the play before Emeka Egbuka got that the 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 19, whatever it was, down to the 2-yard line. So there's a ton of little things that happen in every game that you're like, man, imagine if this hadn't occurred, and that's certainly one of them.
Hey, what's going on with the Buckeyes in recruiting right now? I know they're getting ready for camp. Their attention is focusing mostly to this year's roster and getting the 25 Buckeyes rolling, but any updates for us on the recruiting trail, Birm?
Right now, it is really about getting back to evaluations. There's not a lot left on the board. Savion Hyder, running back from Virginia, will choose between Michigan and Tennessee in the next couple days. He was a guy that made an official visit to Ohio State. Deuce Gerald's the defensive lineman from Georgia, will choose. Ohio State's the finalist, but they're not going to get him either. It really seems like at this point it's about finding offensive and defensive linemen through the reevaluation of guys they saw this summer, looking for players going into their senior years and trying to find a diamond or two in the rough, because the way that this last 2 months went on the recruiting trail, with a lot of money being spent early and aggressively by teams, a lot of these guys are not in a position where a flip is really possible because they are locked into financial contracts. So it's going to be a little bit different, but you're right in saying that the focus right now is getting ready for 2025. That's not going to make people happy to hear it, but the Buckeyes have told me, I've heard from a number of people, that when it comes to recruiting and when it comes to NIL, they have a plan, and they're not like pessimistic about where things are. They know that they're going to maybe need to make some adjustments based on how the NCAA and the College Sports Commission and all these other abbreviations are handling things. So we'll see what they do as they head into the season.
Hey, before we get you out of here, anything else burning on your mind other than your broken right hand?
No, I do want to know if anyone has a suggestion for a new game to play on my phone.
I haven't played a phone game in many of years. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Well, I'm not asking you, Beamer. I'm asking America.
Right.
Listen, America.
I need America to reach out and tell me what to play, because I was playing Monopoly Go for a while, and then I realized I liked it too much, and I was too competitive, and it was stupid. It was really.
That's how you were with Candy Crush before that. You never put it down.
That's why that's the one thing your wife and I have in common.
No.
But
you like?
I need a new phone game. I need a new phone game. Well, I don't know if we like to. Sometimes you have to.
If you have any answers for Birm on new phone game, you can drop them in the YouTube chat. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on with us. Have a fantastic other 2 days, and I'll see you out at camp on Thursday, all right?
All right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it.
There he goes. Birm with arthritis in his right hand here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Hey, listen to this. We could have some weighted changes to college football governance. What does that mean? We're going to find out in the College Football Pulse next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born. And before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. You're home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Soy has been keeping secrets, and it's ready to share. Soybeans are among the most versatile agricultural products. They are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we all love and use every day. Ohio is leading the way, developing new uses for soybeans to support our changing world. Soy low-key slays, and I'm here for it. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. The Guardians are underway in their second game in the series with the Colorado Rockies. They lead 2-0 after one, thanks to a two-out single by Gabriel Arias driving in the 2 runs. Logan Allen got the start for Cleveland against Tanner Gordon for Colorado. The Cincinnati Reds look to bounce back tonight at Great American Ballpark against the Los Angeles Dodgers. A nice pitching matchup tonight with left-hander Nick Lodolo getting the start for the Redlegs. Tyler Glasnow will be on the mound for the Dodgers. They get started here at 7:10. In the NFL, Cleveland Browns cornerback Martin Emerson Jr. was carted off the field at practice today after suffering an Achilles injury. He will undergo an MRI to confirm the severity of the injury. Emerson was a third-round pick for the Browns in the 2022 draft, who has appeared in 50 games for Cleveland. He was set to enter the final year of his rookie contract. In the Columbus Crew are in Leagues Cup action tonight, hosting Toluca. Kickoff from Lower.com Field is here at 7 o'clock. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
We're here on the Buckeye Show, hanging out at Yogi's in Grandview for another hour. $3 Coors Light draft specials. Jeff Svoboda, Jackets Insider, he's enjoying some.
Signing autographs right now.
Yeah, he is. He's talking to some, I don't know if they're buddies or just random people who summoned him over, but he is. He's a man of the people, and he is out here as well. Reimer, you nailed the pronunciation on Toluca.
Crushed it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You did a very good job. He asked me before the show started. He goes, how do you pronounce this team that they're playing? I said, well, it's spelled Toluca. How would you pronounce it? And he said, Toluca. I said, there you go. You nailed it.
Toluca.
No, Toluca.
Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulsa. That's right. They're playing Tulsa tonight.
Hey, you never know. I was just confirming.
I told you, good job on the pronunciation. I had my own mental feelings about you asking me that, but I think it was a good job. You didn't know something and you asked for help. It was a good job. Crew are underway. Gardos are underway. Reds coming up here in 10 minutes. By the way, we'll get you to that at 8 o'clock. Reds taking on the Dodgers, looking to get back from last night's loss. Tough news for Martin Emerson today.
Yeah.
It's the worst part of camps, Austin, and I don't care if you're a Bengals fan, if you're a Browns fan, if you're a Buckeye fan, if you're a Wolverine fan. You deal with it. It's battle of attrition, but it is the worst part of any form of training camp are these injuries.
It's going to happen. You play a violent game, a physical sport, and you have to practice it to be able to play it in those games. So, why don't they just take it easy? If you're going to get better at tackling, you have to tackle.
Yeah.
If you're going to run routes, you need to run routes, and sometimes bad things happen. So, you obviously want nothing but the best. You hope that you make it through as close to full strength and full speed as you possibly can, but there are going to be setbacks, and Ohio State was a prime example of that last year. Just from day one, they had to go out there shorthanded. Now, it wasn't long-term stuff, but Donovan Jackson was dealing with an ankle, and the rest of the offensive line room was passing around hand, foot, and mouth. So that was a surprise, and we didn't know exactly what all those issues were as they dealt with that throughout the month and had, spacing and all those things. But
that was such a crazy story from last year. And you look at the beginning of the year and juxtapose it to where they finished the year and how many more reps players got and then were thrown into the fire when all of these injuries happened during the season. It sounds crazy. It actually, I think, kind of helped them getting those reps in during camp.
I don't think there's anything crazy about it at all. It's 100% right. If they hadn't been in that situation, if they hadn't had to deal with the adversity, they would not have got cross-trained. Austin Sernfeld would not have played a single snap at left tackle, which helps him get ready for other situations where he filled in throughout the year. The same deal with Carson Hinsman once he came back. These guys were getting reps that they would not have normally gotten, and it absolutely paid off for them.
Yeah, it did in a big way. By the way, ex-Buckeye Josh Simmons making rounds on X today. Did you see what he was up to? Just throwing punches in training camp in Kansas City.
He's been off the field for a long time.
Some defender locked him up. And the classic football stance where both dudes have their arms jostling, and then you get that lock, and then both fists of the defender, who I don't know, and then Josh Simmons just went flying at once towards the helmets.
He's been on the shelf for 10 months.
I can't believe
he's got the juices flowing.
The Chiefs got to draft him.
Well,
good for him. Great for him. What an awesome situation.
We don't need to talk about the Chiefs and bring down the mood out here.
No, we don't. We're at Yogi's in Grandview.
Yeah,
Why would anybody bring down the mood here? Reimer, what do you got for us tonight, buddy?
So the college football season, as we know, begins in less than a month, but the amount of time players have to enter the transfer portal following the 2025 season could still change. The NCAA Division I Board of Directors is scheduled to meet on August 5th for a video conference call to vote on recommendations from the D1 Decision-Making Working Group. Among the changes the working group has proposed is cutting 30 committees and providing the Power Four more control to steer D1 governance outcomes. If the proposal passes, the structure would be implemented effectively on September 1st. How do you guys feel about these potential changes?
All right, so I had to read this article a couple of times to be like, what does this even mean? And I don't know why this wasn't the leadoff of the article, but the crux of this situation and why it matters in college football at the moment was in the third paragraph. The proposed model would grant the power conferences as much as 65 weighted voting percentage in rules-making decisions. All right, so that's the big part of the story. The transfer portal and athlete eligibility. So athlete eligibility situations, transfer portal situations, and rules-making situations would be weighted more for the Power Four, which means that if you have the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 all agree on something in premise, that would then move the scale to anything happening basically in college football, if they can all four agree. Now, that's an entirely different story if they can all four come to an agreement on anything at the moment. But that is what this story is about, Austin, that we've seen it in the college football playoff, and that's why it's been bad blood between the SEC and the Big Ten this year when talking about playoff models, because the Big Ten and the SEC are the ones that make the rule changes, and that's why there's an impasse currently where we're at. It has nothing to do with the on-field rules in football. If this passes, that would mean that the Power Four would control basically every aspect, including the transfer portal times, one-time transfer window, all that different stuff involving the college game, which I think is a pretty big piece of news.
I think it would be a massive step forward for NCAA and more specifically college football governance and some of the rules and regulations that everybody wants to put in place, or guardrails as they are now known by everyone trying to make decisions, commissioners.
Who doesn't love a guardrail?
Guardrails. Really sick of that word and the terminology from them. But how many times, Beamer, have we had this conversation? It's like, well, Yale or Wyoming or Wisconsin Whitewater, they're not all the same.
No, they're not.
They're not playing the same sport. They're not playing with the same financial support. They're not bringing in the same level of revenue. And for years, so, well, the NCAA is like, well, this is how it works. It's college athletics. This is for the benefit of the student athlete. And they have kicked that can down every single road that they possibly could for the last 75 years. And now
they kicked it down Shirley Basin, buddy.
Well, you got 145 miles, and now you're in Laramie. All right, you have to make a decision on what you're going to do. And do you want to jeopardize? Because the NCAA funds the vast majority of this through the basketball tournament. It's not from college football, which imagine if they had actually said years ago that they were going, because they do run the 1AA FCS playoffs. Imagine if they had done that for college football as we've always known it at the highest level, how much more income would be going. There'd be no risk to the NCAA ever going out of business.
Right.
But there is now, if they don't play ball, for lack of another term, with
that fly out of here, man.
With the Power Four conferences, they can't jeopardize it. They have to keep Ohio State and Alabama and Texas and Oklahoma happy enough to stay within the NCAA governance model so that they can continue to have the NCAA basketball tournament.
I'm wondering, I'm just putting the math together, and as Uncle Bo likes to say, know the scores. If you're wondering at home why the NCAA is always trying to expand the NCAA tournament, Austin just gave you your answer. In case you're wondering why the vote for expansion is going to happen and why eventually it will be expanded. The NCAA basketball tournament, that is. You just laid exactly that out perfectly.
And so that goes back to, well, what do they have to do to keep them happy? They have to let them establish the rules for roster management, transfer portal decisions, national signing day, how many signing periods there are, because college football is different than every other sport. Point blank, period. The NCAA doesn't want to be involved in the day-to-day of this is what the SEC and the Big Ten want to do, and it's different. All right, you do it. You run it. But please don't take away the basketball teams from us. We need them here.
That's all they're wanting to do. And the best part of this article is that Greg Sankey has argued for 68% of the control. 65.
Wow, what an interesting number.
65 isn't enough. 68 is enough, I guess, apparently. But, yeah, you know who would be thrilled about this?
He didn't want to say 69 just to get a little laugh at him?
Nice.
Like, give it to me?
You know who would be thrilled about this and all the changes? Mark Pantoni and all of the Ohio State staffers and every staffer at a big-time college. because their schedules right now it's untenable. You can't continue to do it at the level that they are.
And it's not the way it works in the other sports. Like if you work in lacrosse or field hockey, it's like, well, these are dead periods. And also, by the way, you probably don't spend a ton of time actually out on the road recruiting. College football is so different. The rosters are dramatically larger than in any other sport. And the way that you have to put them together is now more complicated than in any other sport. And I know I don't mean that to diminish the difficulty of the job for Ohio State volleyball or Ohio State lacrosse. I know that they work incredibly hard and they scout across the country and they're trying to put the best possible team on the field. But the transfer portal is something of a headache for them. NIL is really a benefit to them for Ohio State compared to most other programs. It is the biggest headache for Mark Pantoni and that staff because of the freedom to go anywhere after 1 year, free transfer portal, NIL madness, all signing day, 2 different signing periods, all these things, dead period, contact period, visit period. College football is out of control. It has become a 365-day of the year job, and it shouldn't be that way, or else you're not going to continue to have college football as we've known it.
No, you're not. And coaches get burnt out, and then they leave and go to the NFL or do something else because, right now you can't do it. Reimer, I think we got time for one more here, bud.
Yeah, so some tough news for Florida fans. Star quarterback DJ Lagway is currently sidelined dealing with another injury. He was limited during spring practices, recovering from a shoulder injury. Now he's day-to-day with a lower body injury that requires him to wear a walking boot ahead of fall camp. Billy Napier said today that Lagway will be limited to start camp and his return to action will come on a day-to-day basis. However, they seem hopeful that he's making quick progress and should be ready to go well in advance of Florida's Week 1 game against Long Island. How careful should Florida be with their Heisman hopeful quarterback?
Very, very, very careful with him. He was pretty good last year. Again, as good as a true freshman can be, right? 12 touchdowns, 9 picks, I think, was his number. I'm excited to see what DJ Lagway can do. I'm also excited to see what Dylan Raiola can do. But the difference between Dylan Raiola right now and DJ Lagway is that Dylan Raiola has actually had an offseason with his program and has been able to throw. DJ Lagway did not. He had the shoulder injury in spring, Austin. He was not able to throw. And then you start the season. And what did we just talk about at the very beginning? Martin Emerson going down and being reported as a ruptured Achilles. Misses it. You know you're going to have some trials and tribulations on the injury front. But when you have a young quarterback, and really this is for any young player, not just a young quarterback, you need repetitions. I don't care how good you were in high school and that you got some serious play time at Florida, which is a big monster program. You need repetitions in the offseason. So this, very careful down there for Billy Napier, and also not a great way to start fall camp.
No, because you need to get him up to speed. If Billy Napier is going to save his job, that's primarily going to be up to DJ Lagway and how good he can be in year 2 for the Gators. And, DJ Lagway was down at SEC Media Days and getting asked a lot about the shoulder and other nagging injuries that he had. And it's like, did you have surgery? And he was really evasive about that. I just think we can assume that he probably did, given the nature of those injuries and the time that he's missed. So, trying to get that time back at quarterback. Ryan Day made this point again last Tuesday in Vegas, and he did throughout spring, about how challenging it is to learn to play quarterback because the opportunity for reps and then the opportunity to then evaluate in game situations is so minute compared to every other sport. He likes to say, well, if you're playing, AAU baseball or you play lacrosse and you play the sports that, his kids do, you're going to play on the weekend, travel ball, you play 6 games. Yeah. That doesn't exist for football. So DJ Lagway,
you get 12.
Missing these practice times and then trying to go into the season, it's significant. And you hope that, for the sake of college football as a whole, you hope that he gets into the season healthy and gets to stay healthy because he's got really, really exciting potential to watch. But this is going to be an issue for Florida because it's not just one injury now he's been dealing with, it's multiple.
Jack Sawyer said what we're all thinking, and Connor Stalions has hit Twitter again. That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Ways, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight Bob's Discount Furniture and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland.
I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
The Fan is the official station of summertime. Sipping on a lemonade, the smell of fresh-cut grass in the air, and Common Man playing fart noises on the radio.
Was that a fart?
Ah, summer. The Fan, Ohio's summer destination.
The Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu is adding some pals. Donato's savory and delicious family recipe meatballs are now on the Pizza Pals menus, along with new Oreo twists. Sweet, delicious pull-apart twists with real Oreo cookie pieces drizzled with vanilla icing. You can order unlimited $5 Pizza Pals with any large pizza. So order today and load up on all the Pizza Pals you want. Donato's, gotta love more.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny, hot and humid on this Tuesday. Temperatures around 90 degrees, heat index in the mid to upper 90s. Overnight we'll fall back down to the low to mid 70s with partly cloudy skies and a touch of fog in spots. During the day Wednesday, another hot and humid finish. Temperatures around 90 degrees with the heat index higher and just a slight chance of an evening shower or storm. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck! You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
We're here on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by our great friends over at Coors Light. When those mountains are blue, you know those suckers are as cold as the Rockies. A lot of folks enjoying some out at Yogi's in Grandview. $3 Coors Light draft specials until 8 o'clock with us. By the way, next week we'll be back on Thursday. But since we have training camp this week, and we've got a bunch of live broadcasts, it was going to be a tough thing to navigate because, you know, we're going to be stationary out there, Austin, for a bunch of hours on Thursday and Friday. So we had to make the move to Tuesday because Buckeye camp is starting.
It's the best time of year.
Football season is here.
It's the best.
I can't wait to be out there. Can't wait to watch practice. It doesn't even matter to me. Like, I've covered this for years. I know that the pads aren't on. It's not going to be a scrimmage. I don't care. It's Thursday's Christmas morning. Football is back for me.
And Christmas gets to last all the way through the middle of January.
Yeah, it's the best holiday there is.
It is. It's a 4.5-month holiday. And the gifts just keep on coming, baby.
Bring it on. Can't wait.
So I'm sure that you were aware of this. Jack Sawyer went on Cam Hayward's podcast. We'll start it with this, Reimer, because we do have some follow-up about some Michigan stuff going on. But here was Jack Sawyer talking about the 2022 Ohio State game against Michigan.
I think they beat us straight up last year, obviously, and the year before. But my sophomore year, we left the field, we were like, this feels weird. We lost, by double digits, and it felt like we had beat the shit out of them all game. We were on a screen pass that we had never put in. Not the formation, not the look, anything. And, you see them on the sideline, they're doing it, and we change it, we audible do it or whatever, and when we run it, all the D linemen, as soon as the ball is snapped, the linebackers, everybody, they sniffed it out. We were in a tight end screen from the 25-yard line going in, and they snuff it out on first and 10. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's the one I've heard probably 30 people at Ohio State complain about that.
Kate Stover said it multiple years ago, didn't
he? He did. He talked about it last summer. I think when he got down there with the Texans and some of that stuff with Connor Stalions was going up, and local media down there asked him about it.
Yeah.
That was the one that sent off the loudest alarm bells for Ohio State. And
not as if the alarm bells were already not going.
They were already off. They were already aware of it.
Yeah.
That was the one that was like, well, these guys have no shame whatsoever. And they're never going to get over it. That's just being honest. That's Jack Sawyer. That's Ryan Day. That's anyone who was on the C.J. Stroud. Imagine what was taken away from him in that situation.
Yeah.
A Heisman Trophy, potentially. So
more than likely.
I know that there are people that are tired of this saga, but it's about the way the game is actually played by the rules, and something has to be done about it. Until the Committee on Infractions rules, all you have left to do is just keep pointing out this was wrong and it needs to be punished. And if they don't, there's just never going to be any. I don't even think it's going to make Jack Sawyer feel better or Ryan Day feel better if they get a postseason ban.
No,
if it's a year.
Nothing that anything happens or doesn't happen to them is going to make them feel better about it.
But it could help slightly if there's at least an admission from people at the NCAA offices on the Committee of Infractions. Michigan's already, they've given up fighting. They've stopped saying that it didn't happen, that it wasn't against the rules. They're just trying to mitigate the punishment. And that tells you that they know if this was happening to them, how much they would have hated it and how it would drive them insane.
And to be fair, if it was happening to anybody, if you swap the positions and you get into this, and Michigan was on the receiving end of this, and if Ohio State was doing it, it would be the same exact outcry that Michigan fans would be having, that Ohio State fans and other fans in the Big Ten are having. Connor Stalions, who likes to tweet or likes to do an X, again, the name change happened a couple of years ago. I still don't know exactly what it's called when you fire out a bunch of words into the internet on this device. He likes to tweet, which I don't know if that's a great thing or a bad thing. But he quoted this tweet.
Yeah.
He quoted the tweet.
That's his go-to move.
Of Jack Sawyer, and he said, all right, this is what he said. 1, Jack is saying Ohio State never ran a slot YY formation all year. Quotations. Pull up any of their games on YouTube, and you'll see them run that look. 2, their signal for this play was the letter Y, tied in 99% of offense, the delay of game sign. So the Y delay, wonder what this will be. 3, Jack is admitting they never ran it before. Handshake. 4, your coach already admitted that you changed your signs for us. I'll stop here. I'm at full bullet points. Maybe at a 5th in November. Great job. Again, I don't know why there hasn't been any public pressure or pressure from anybody still involved over at Michigan to him to not do this. It doesn't help.
Every time he opens his mouth or an app on his phone, he makes it worse. There's no remember 6 weeks ago, and he's showing up in Indianapolis outside like he wants to testify in front of the committee? Like, what are you doing, man? They don't need you to help, and everything you've said, starting with a documentary where you outlined everything that was going on, is making it worse. Michigan is, at this point, supplying all the evidence they have, whether that's Sharon Moore's text messages or what they know about Connor Stalions himself being on the Central Michigan sideline.
Wait, is he not suspended for 3 games this year, or did I make that up somewhere along the way?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get this over with, and every time he talks about it, it's like validating how against the rules it was. Oh, yeah. I mean, check out my Venmo logs. Yeah, well, that guy just bought a T-shirt down there. Oh, sure.
I just like paying and getting tickets for people at face value.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sick of it, too. I'm as sick of it as anybody because it is such a gross violation of NCAA rules. And, like, not even NCAA rules. Yes, the advanced scouting rule is in place for college football, but and I know that there are people that say stealing signs is part of the game. It's going to happen in baseball.
Yes, but the difference of stealing signs, the way that went down and the way that it goes down traditionally, and to his point, every team will do it. You have some sort of code breaker on your team that will look across the sidelines, but you're also not there in person scouting opponents.
So what Connor Stalions is trying to do to justify this is misdirect. How did he know who was the live signaler? I don't think he left that out of the Zeep.
He did. That was the 5th point I think he was going to make.
Okay, go ahead. I mean, but if he has to reveal how he knew that, guess what? Opening up another can of worms to how he got this information, which was not above board and not according to NCAA bylaws and guidelines and regulations.
Oh, good news. All that's going to change when the Big 10, SEC, Big 12, and ACC.
I don't think they're going to let advanced scouting become part of the game.
No, I don't think that they will either. By the way, a little side note, too, on this whole story. Did see this today, that the dashboard of active NCAA investigations, which I guess is a real thing you can click on, Central Michigan received a notice of allegations from the NCAA back in June on the role that it played in Connor Stalions' scheme. The investigation began on October 31st of 23, where there was a man resembling Connor Stalions on the sideline of their game against Sparty. Here's what Central Michigan said about this. We're aware of the inferences made in the new Netflix documentary regarding former Michigan football staffer Connor Stalions accessing the Central Michigan sidelines during our open game last September. For the past 10 months, we fully cooperated with the NCAA's ongoing investigation and will continue to cooperate with them to complete its investigation. They also came out today that said, basically, we're aware of this and we're working together to find a suitable outcome, which I am no sleuth, but I put 1 and 1 together, Austin, and that makes 2.
It's weird that Jim McElwain's not employed, right?
Yeah, no, he left at the end of the season, kind of just with no big goodbye or anything. Just
strange.
Weird.
Wonder if there's anything to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't dive deeper into it.
Okay.
A potential breakout.
Nothing to see here.
A potential breakout character that maybe we talked about, maybe we didn't. In the 6 o'clock hour is going to be the focus of Austin's next question of the day. We're going to do that in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear.
the James at Ohio State.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out here at Yogi's in Grandview. 6 to 8. Fantastic night. Pop on by. Coors Light's on special for $3 for 29 more minutes. So you can still get down here and do some damage.
Don't waste time.
No, time.
You're off work now.
Yep. You should be off work.
There's baseball on. For some reason, there's live video of me and Beam up on the TV, even though you could be looking right at us.
That's true.
There's got to be other sports they can put up instead of my ugly mug and your beautiful mug.
No, I think you got those reversed.
But anyway, I mean it. They've done a great job building this out in here. It's a cool setting. I think it's probably going to be a fun place for people to watch. I don't know, Blue Jackets, Crew, maybe some Ohio State games in the fall.
Yeah, really just everything, too. They got a nice upper deck. We have not taken the land curling table quite yet, but it's going to be all good. So, again, come and hang out with us. If you can't make it tonight, we'll be here next Thursday as well. And by that point, we'll have so much more to talk about.
Whoa,
Ohio
buddy.
State. Just think about all the new storylines that we're going to have a week from Thursday. We will be a week into Ohio State fall camp by then.
We'll have had 3 open practices.
Yeah.
We'll have had 4 media availabilities, I believe. Yeah, I think that's right. 4. That's going to be a lot of content.
Yep.
That's going to be a lot of interesting audio to break down.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of new developments going there. And it's like, I know I'm going to say this in like 2 weeks, where it's like,
well, just say it now. Get it out of the way.
Like, can't we just get to a game? Like I'm going to start getting to that point.
I know.
But I quite enjoy the month of August and setting the table for what's to come. Because if you don't enjoy that part of it and don't embrace it, and the anticipation once practice starts, once training camp starts, the season is going to be over before you know it. And the off season is so brutally long. And
I feel like last year, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong here, last year we went from training camp to January 20th, and then we had a bunch of stuff going on in the offseason. Now, I think traditionally it was a quieter offseason than what it was the year prior. But then you got through spring ball, and it's straight up desert mode. It's felt like it's been 4 years since we've seen Ohio State play any sort of football on a field.
Yeah, and like May is the worst month of the year by far, and then that's creeping to the top of the roller coaster, but you're not quite there yet. You get a little fake hill coming down with June. You're around the team. They've got the recruiting stuff going on, and then that wasn't the real drop. You're going back up a little bit. Early parts of July.
We're right there.
And now it's Big Ten Media Day. Oh, I see. Oh, that's a 100-foot drop. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah.
And so you don't, and then you don't want the ride to be over. It's like, oh, this is great. I'm having an awesome time. Let's talk ball. And then, oh no, the season only lasts for 3 months.
Is there any worse feeling than the Monday after the Super Bowl, knowing that you're in a football desert?
See, I don't mind February as much.
Well, yeah, because we got spring ball, you got winter workouts coming in, you got transfer portal stuff kind of happening, but I'm saying just as a football enjoyer, you get to that last...
No more games.
You get to that last game of the season, you're like, what am I supposed to do with all of my time now?
It's wild how the NFL really set the tone for this. Structuring their year that, A, was good for the players and coaches so that they had some time off to decompress, but then the way that they set up OTAs, minicamp, the draft, and spaced it out throughout the year so that there was constantly a news cycle for the NFL. It's really, the game itself is awesome, and we all love it, but there was certainly a time, even in the mid-'90s, where people, diehard NBA finals, like, you'd get into that, and it was really popular, and the Bulls were winning championships, and the NBA was a legitimate up there, 1 or number 2. Major League Baseball, because of the length of the season, it captivated the imagination, and it went, well, you had March into November.
And then you could have your dreams ruined in a one-game wild card playoff.
You could, and then you could give up the sport forever. But what the NFL did that was so brilliant was setting up the calendar where there was constantly going to be news, and it was front of mind. And college football has got to that point. Do they have to address some of the way that is working? Yeah, there's no doubt. But I think, and I don't know if I'm certainly not the only one who has this theory, but it was the way that they set that up to where, because you only have 4 months, 5 months of games to get through the year, and the offseason being longer than the season itself, well, how do you make sure that people don't forget about football, that they still love football, that they're still talking about football? Nobody's done that better than the NFL, and college football has, to its credit, caught up. It's not as fun as free agency or the draft when you're talking about portal and NIL.
Yeah, those are fun things that I look forward to.
But once we get that part straightened out, then we're really cooking.
Then it might be fun. Let's get to question of the day, part 2. Okay. We talked about potential breakout candidates for Ohio State coming up in fall camp this year and for the season. You can go back and listen to the podcast anywhere you get your podcast from. Just type in the Buckeye Show and it'll pop up. Or you can go back on the YouTube page and watch it in the 6 o'clock hour. This one, it could be a potential breakout candidate. Should be a potential breakout candidate. This came from Billy on LettermanRow.com. How many snaps will C.J. Hicks take with the first-team defense at Ohio State? And that, I feel like, is a really good question because he added first-team defense.
Yeah. And that's what makes it really hard to answer. And I appreciate the specificity. But I don't know the answer. I don't know that Matt Patricia knows the answer, at least as we sit here right now. Training camp starts on Thursday. We saw – I don't mean that as a cop-out. I think there's going to be weeks where C.J. Hicks is going to play 25, 30 snaps that are going to suit him and this hybrid role and coming off the edge, and it'll line up for him to be a big piece of the defense. But some of the conversation that Matt Patricia has been having, which is a lot of them, when I talk about player-coach relationships and all the hugging that we've seen throughout this offseason and in the June camps, like C.J. Hicks is out there getting work, and he's on Matt Patricia's hip. And they're talking about the hybrid weapons that they used in New England and watching Willie McGinnis film and going way back. And
you want a good guy to watch film on, watch his film.
I mean, it's a good example for what C.J. Hicks is wanting to do and what Matt Patricia would like to do with his defense and with the athleticism that C.J. Hicks brings. But, how much is that going to change from week to week? Some of that is going to depend on if C.J. Hicks is able to hold up stout against the run. What really separated Jack and JT for years and years and years, yeah, we saw them at their peak during the playoff run, and there were a lot more sacks coming from them. But throughout the duration of their career, Larry Johnson is making this decision because he knew that first and foremost, if you're going to play for the Rushman, you're going to stop the run, and then you get to the quarterback second. So that's sort of the inverse when you're talking about C.J. Hicks, and we'll see if Matt Patricia tweaks some of the formula. But it's like Matt Patricia, if you're looking at C.J. Hicks, he gets to the quarterback first.
He's Weapon X. That's his job. And the way that I've compared C.J. Hicks this year, at least in my mind, Austin, and I'm sure that I've compared him to you while doing this show, is how Ohio State utilized Baron Browning when he became Mr. Wreck the Play guy. Yeah. Like, in Baron probably should have been doing that a little bit more.
Should have been doing it the whole time.
You look at what he's done in the NFL, and he's done a really good job when he transitioned to the next level of that. But I think that would be high-end productivity out of C.J. Hicks and what to expect from him. Am I telling you that he's going to be Baron Browning? No, but that's what I think he's capable of.
Yeah, and I think even when Baron Browning was starting to get some of those opportunities, or Jerome Baker, it's like, well, we saw it 4 or 5 times. That was really good. Why don't they do that more? Think about Chase Young against Wisconsin and lining up different parts of the line of scrimmage, and he's coming over center. Like, who has any chance of blocking Chase Young? It's like, why couldn't you do that every week? I think that's been sort of the frustration at times when you've looked at, how, static the way Ohio State has used its defensive linemen, or the way it's used these versatile linebackers in the past has been.
It's a very fair point to say.
And we saw them, and I don't even mean that as a criticism, because it certainly sounds like it, and I guess in some ways it is. Like, Larry Johnson has proven to be the best defensive line coach maybe in the history of college football. And thinking that that's how the game should be played and that's the way he coaches it is absolutely fine. He's won 2 national championships at Ohio State doing that. But I think even last year you saw a little bit more flexibility and versatility as the season went along. And I think that's going to continue because based on what we've seen with Larry Johnson and Matt Patricia so far, it's been seems like a very collaborative, productive relationship. And, if that means that there's going to be times where it's more 3 down and bringing Arvell Reese or C.J. Hicks in to rush the passer, like, that's only to the benefit of Ohio State as a whole. They have the guys that can do that. And I think C.J. is the prime example of that. It didn't connect for him at linebacker. Some of the responsibilities, he wasn't executing that at a high enough level.
It's a hard thing to do.
No doubt.
At the highest level, when you have that gray helmet on with a Buckeye leaves. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do.
But it's also hard for most humans to be 245 pounds and run a 4.340 and evade any kind of blocker in your way and decapitate a quarterback. And I know that C.J. Hicks can do that, and C.J. Hicks knows that he can do that. And Matt Patricia also knows that C.J. Hicks can do that. Larry Johnson agrees that C.J. Hicks can do that. So all 4 things are then pushing towards this outcome. But what does it actually mean in terms of snap count? I don't know. And Ohio State's going to have to figure that out because
Is it 15 a game? Is it 10? Is it 20? I have no clue.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be opponent-based unless he can prove that he can do all the things that a defensive end needs to do.
I think, and usually this is the most case, but you mentioned it's going to be opponent-based. It will be more opponent matchup-based than what we've seen, I feel like, in the last few years, given who your defensive coordinator is this year. Just naturally. Like, that's the way Matt Patricia coaches.
I agree. And I think that's the benefit when Matt Patricia talks about being able to pick the groceries and not having to draft the best available player. He doesn't have to recruit to this roster. Ohio State has athletes with the best physical traits in the country. Are they all number 1 at their position? No, but they're all, when they came out of high school, they were all top 10, top 20 players. So Matt Patricia has plenty to work with. C.J. Hicks was a 5-star recruit.
He was a can't-miss guy out of Dayton. Like, he was an in-state guy who you did not want going somewhere else.
And if he had, part of this is out of his control too, Beamer. If Ohio State's roster had been recruited differently at linebacker for not last year, or what James Laurinaitis has done is awesome, but the previous 5 years where there was a little bit of a significant drop-off in both the production and the depth of that unit. That's why C.J. Hicks had to stay at linebacker when it might have already been clear to Larry Johnson and to Jim Knowles and to Ryan Day that putting him on the edge would be better. But they had a surplus of talent on the defensive line and a relative lack of depth at linebacker where C.J. had to stay there. That's not the situation anymore. When we're talking about Riley Pettijohn and T.J. Alford and Peyton Pierce and Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, that allows you to move C.J. Hicks to go do this in a way that he couldn't before.
Hey, just want to let you know, and you're in the same boat, Austin. And I think I heard a commercial a little bit of time ago. Dropping just 25 pounds with Awaken 180 can give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. Think about that. Yeah, take that, Bryson.
Okay.
Talk about science and numbers. It's half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards every single swing. Personal experience, you lose 75 pounds like I did in its next level distance. Better consistency, energy, and mood, even on the back 9 of 27 holes, which I've already played. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Hashtag Buckeyes next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Irish Adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the U.S., drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
The bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way, give Baths R Us a ring. Call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get zero down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday morning starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, you know, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Want to know anything about the fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at The Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Well, thank everybody for coming out, hanging out with us over at Yogi's in Granby. You can also come here whenever they're open, even if we're not doing the show. It's a fantastic place to wait.
It's open when we're not here?
It is open when we're not here.
That's a brilliant business move.
My favorite things I've ever heard while sitting at a bar watching a soccer game was my great friend Joe, who was a big Manchester United guy. He even got a tattoo of the Manchester United badge.
Okay.
And someone was getting ready to leave. They had just come in for a match because they wanted to. Super nice person. He goes, "Yep, come back anytime you want." And then he stopped himself. He's like, "I guess it's a bar, so you can literally come in anytime you want, even if we're not here." So that's a little homage. That's an homage.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Joe.
Legend.
What are you What do you like most about the fall? Because we've got a nice little YouTube comment section going on here. Stan said, I don't wish any summer away, not even for Ohio State football. And then Craig said, there's football on this Thursday. That's right. We got the Hall of Fame game coming up. My favorite season's fall, the cool, crisp days, football changing in colors. Fall's too short, winter's too long. I agree with that. It's by far the best season of the year, fall. It's not even close.
There's no question about it. I think I used to be a spring proponent in my younger days.
I think if we're doing Power 4, which will come up on Friday when you guys do the Power 5, Power 4 seasons, fall is 1, spring is 2, winter is 3, summer is 4.
Yeah, I mean, being up for 4 days in that state up north and being like way up in it.
See why I go every year for multiple weeks?
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's great.
I was talking to Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda about that. It's like, yeah, every time Allie and Lib FaceTimed me, they're like, oh, it's pouring rain down here, and then when it's not, it's 95 degrees.
200% humidity.
It's like, oh, yeah. I mean, it is a little bit cloudy up here, but it's 75 degrees. And
how's the weather for you? Bad?
It's shorts and quarter zip weather up here, so I might never leave. I'll see you guys later.
I think the best weather is you can choose anything that you want. You can go shorts and a T-shirt. You can go pants and a T-shirt. You can go pants and a hoodie, shorts and a hoodie. Well, your wardrobe is just on full display. When you catch that first, 60, 65-degree day of fall, you're like, everything is at my arsenal, in my dispense.
I mean, I'm wearing shorts and a quarter zip right now, so it's not like I'm
wearing pants and a T-shirt.
I need to be pushed in one direction or the other. But it was like, oh, well, this is actually what I'm supposed to be wearing up here. It's great.
It is fantastic. Before we get out of here today, I did see this come down. By the way, we'll get you to the Reds coming up here. The last time I checked, they were trailing 2-0. I did see this, and Reimer, I know that you're super pumped about it. The Buckeyes are going to host OU, an open preseason exhibition game. Was it last year that they made the switch from the super secret exhibition game?
Yeah.
And then now everybody gets to go, and it's for usually a good cause. Like, this is great. But we got OU, we got the Bobcats coming into town for this one.
With all these decisions, just follow the money. It's like, oh, why would we miss this revenue opportunity? And it can be for charity, which is what Ohio State has tried to do with those events now that they can. Yeah, you can't keep standing in the way of progress. It's madness. Then let it go. So I think that's very cool. That's a great matchup. I think they should play a regular season game, too. But
I do, too.
I think that'd be
Do
cool.
a home and home with them.
Yeah.
Well, it's not far down the road, you know?
I don't need to do that.
Yeah, come on. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
The Buckeyes in the convo would be absolutely electric.
I knew you'd be on my side.
There we
that,
go.
Reimer.
All right. If Reimer's on board, then I'm on board.
College basketball expert, Jacob Reimer. Before we get out of here, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Do you think Major League Baseball implementing a salary cap would be a good idea or bad idea for the sport? I'll tell you what it's going to do for the sport, and it will be a 162-game lockout if they choose to do that. As a fan of a non-team that is not named the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, or any of your big market teams, I think it would be a great idea. But the problem with this is that baseball players have too much power already with the bargaining agreement, and they will not give that up. There is no chance that you would have a salary cap.
None.
No,
Zero.
no. It won't work. You will have just a massive lockout. Now, if you had a salary cap and then a salary floor where every team needed to be over the floor, but maybe every team doesn't need to get to the cap, I think maybe. But if you're just talking about strictly a hard cap number, it would be great for the sport. Let me answer the question at face value. It would be fantastic for the sport. It's just never going to happen.
Pretty sure we've been down that road a time or two or three
or four, not five,
and it
not six.
Doesn't seem to work out that great for the owners and for the league itself, which is unfortunate because I do think that Major League Baseball would benefit in the long run from a hard reset. The way that the season is set up, the length of games, player movement, luxury tax, all these things, it's out of whack. It has caused people like me to stop paying attention and stop caring about it. So even if they had to go to the negotiating table and it was like a 1994 all over again and you lose a season, maybe that would be better in the long run to get some of the leverage back from the players. Because you know how you don't make $55 million a year is if you make
a hard salary
zero.
cap. Yeah.
So you sit out all you want. You want to lock out and have a strike. Good. Eventually, they're going to have to come back.
Is this the Bryce Harper story? I'm sure that this is where it spawned from, where he told Rob Manfred, like, don't do this to us. We're willing to sit 162 games.
They should.
And they are. You know why? Because they don't have a hard cap.
Yeah, because they now are making in one season what it used to take 20 seasons for players to earn.
Yeah.
So they can. But that's the problem. They have to take some of that leverage back. But I don't care if they do or don't, to be honest with you, because I've moved on. And I'm watching The Crew.
I am watching The Crew.
And they took us off the TV and put The Crew on, which is the best decision Yogi's has ever made.
It really is. Up 1-0 against Toluca. I can't tell how much time has gone in this game, but it looks like
We are into the 44th minute, Beamer.
All right, almost at halftime. Home game, technically a road game, but even though it's being played at Lower.com Field in Leagues Cup. All right, before we get out of here, we got one more minute.
Okay.
Thing number one you're most looking at, Buckeye Camp on Thursday.
Well, there's a quarterback battle beam. No, I mean, it's so obvious I can't even bring it up. I would like to see if they do go out there and the number one offensive line is Ethan Onyanwu at left tackle, Luke Montgomery at left guard, Carson Hensman at center, Tiger Chabot at right guard, and Austin Serval at right tackle. I really think the only thing that is open for flexibility is if Philip Daniels has made a stronger push that would then force Ohio State to consider different options at guard. Because Austin Serval is going to start, but I don't think that you take either Luke Montgomery or Tiger Chabot out of the lineup, which is why I so strongly believe that is what we will see with the first five on Thursday morning.
Buddy had a great time with you this week. Let's do it again on Monday. Murph's going to be in with us tomorrow and on Thursday. Austin, you're back in on Friday, but I'm gone, so we'll reconvene. Lots more new thoughts on Monday.
All right.
When we get back together. Again, thanks to everybody out at Yogi's, staff, kitchen staff, bar staff included, treating us fantastic. We'll be back here next week on Thursday. Everybody have an awesome night. Talk to you for a shorty tomorrow at 6 o'clock with Murph Dog. Reds baseball is up next on The Fan.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we are all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight Bob's Discount Furniture and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.